Hello and welcome to the video show, the show where we discuss loads of different stuff about video. Today we are once again live on Facebook, LinkedIn and YouTube. Aren't we lucky? And you can also catch up with the episodes of the video show that you may have missed on redbookproductions.co.uk/the-video-show. And I will once again mention that at the end as well. So thank you very much for joining us. I hope you've had a good week. Today, I wasn't really sure what to talk about, but earlier this week, Wistia, one of my favorite companies ever, so they are a video hosting company. They released a report called the 2021 State of Video Report. So what we're going to do in this episode is we're going to dive deep into this, look into what they've said, and then also look at what that means for me, what that means for you as people who create videos, people that post videos, basically what that means for video on the whole. So let's sort of jump straight into it. So Wistia are, as I said, a video hosting company based in Boston in America. And they are, I think overall, they've produced some really amazing content just to sort of help people who want to know more about video. So take a look at their website, take a look particularly at the Learning Center, which they've got loads of blogs, loads of videos to help people create some really interesting and creative videos as well. And then also take a look at their original series. They've got Talking Too Loud, which is a podcast, 110-100, which looks at how different budgets affect the outcome of the videos you make. And then my favorite series of that they've made is a live series they did over the course of the last summer, called Out of Office Hours, which has really sort of prompted me to jump into live video and really sort of inspired me to create live videos as well. They've got some other series on there that are well worth watching as well, but take a look at those because they're brilliant. Okay, so let's just got to share my screen with you here, and then we'll see how this goes. So let's have a look at the State of Video report. So let's maximize that. So they've split it into 5 sections. Section 1, video creation. Section 2, video length. Section 3, video engagement. Section 4, video consumption. And Section 5, interactivity and conversions. So the main thing that they've said about the report is that it's not a survey, but it is in fact looking at their own data from videos that they've had uploaded onto their platform over the past 5 years. So it's a really in-depth report about how video has changed over the past 5 years, and in particular how things have changed in the last year, because it was a bit of a different year compared to all the others. So in 2020, you can see there was an 80% jump from 2019 to 2020 of videos uploaded to Wistia over time. And that's a huge jump considering there's sort of a 30% jump from each year from 2016 to 2019. There was a little sort of jump, little sort of jump, little sort of jump, and then a massive jump, sort of doubled really from what they were probably expecting. And I think probably some of that is probably down to the pandemic. We're going to mention the pandemic a lot in this video, and how that's affected video and how that's affected people creating videos. But I think that's probably a reasonable excuse for people to get started with video because of they sort of needed to communicate how communicate things that they probably wouldn't have had to communicate without the pandemic. And as you can see, I think this this graph sort of really does show. I think the massive jump here, like you see, a sort of a steady growth over Q1 to Q4 from last year to from 2019, but 2020 there was a massive jump in Q2, and I think this is down to the start of the lockdown. Loads of businesses needed to start creating videos to really communicate with their customers and then communicate internally about how things were going to change, how they were going to maybe keep running, how maybe they were going to shut down. But video really is the best way of communicating, and I think this really shows it from the massive jump in Q2. And it kind of like it steadies off along the end the rest of the year, but I think this point you can really see that that's when people realize they needed to start communicating through video. Video length is also something that I think is very, very interesting. This is something I've been saying for a little while, probably because Wistia have been saying it a little while as well. But video length over time has slowly started creeping up. As you can see, there was a massive jump with videos for less than 1 minute uploaded to the Wistia platform. It's kind of steady for the 4 years previous to that, but a massive jump in 2020. And I think that's purely because of the pandemic and people needed to communicate quickly in videos that they're uploading. But that's really great that people are creating those videos as well. But I think what's also interesting is this jump here from 5 to 30 minutes and also 30 to 60 minutes. You're seeing this massive jump, this blue spike here from 2019 and previous to 2020, where people are starting to realize that longer content is much more important than maybe it was before. And this is something I followed as well with this show, with the video show. It's really gone from like a 3 minute show that was pre-recorded and uploaded to a live show that maybe is a little bit longer, sort of 10 to 15 minutes sometimes, and then uploaded to my website afterwards, redbookproductions.co.uk/the-video-show. Take a look. But I think this is really interesting. Brands and businesses are starting to realize that longer form videos are a great way to communicate with their audiences. And that's exactly what they've said as well. So the number of videos in the 30 to 60 minute category grew 140% compared to 2019 and 446% compared to 2016. So we're seeing a huge jump to longer form videos. So in 2020, we saw the biggest jump in videos uploaded to our platform that were over 30 minutes in length, 140% increase compared to 2019. Section 3 looks at video engagement, so play engagement over time. So the way they've worked this out is a little bit, total plays, time length of the media, and then actual time watching divided by the original number. So that's how they've worked that out. So they've looked at the total plays of the video, the length of the video, and then that number, the actual time watching divided by the original number. And something interesting they've said here is when we looked at the average engagement rate over the years, we found that the change from year to year was not significant. Despite narratives on shrinking attention spans, it seems that people will continue to stick around and watch your content if it is compelling. And I think that's really interesting as well. So you could create a video that's really long and nobody would watch it, but you could create a video that's really long, that's really interesting, and people will stick around to watch it, despite people thinking that attention spans are getting smaller. So businesses are starting to create this longer form content, as we saw earlier on in the report. And if it's compelling, if it's interesting, people will stick around to watch your videos. And they also said a product launch video will likely have a very different goal than a video that's part of an entire series. So keep in mind to look at that engagement rates for each video. And they do go on to talk about what a typical engagement rate should be in looking at your length of video. So less than a minute, this is kind of a rule of thumb. Doesn't have to be definite, but less than 1 minute, it should be about 55% engagement. 1 to 3, 53%, 3 to 5, 50%, 5 to 30, 40%, 30 to 60, 25%, and then 60 minutes plus 15%. So although most people aren't going to be sticking around to watch these longer videos, the people that are going to be ones that are really interested in what you're talking about. And I think that's really interesting. So yeah, that was, for me, this was the most interesting bit of the report, was video engagement and how that's changing over time. And the people that are sticking around, they're the ones that really matter. Section 4 talks about video consumption. So minutes of video watched every year. So as you can see, a massive jump again in 2020. That's probably because the amount of videos has gone up as well. And because of the pandemic, people have had to upload these videos, and people have been stuck in their homes. So they're watching videos more. They're looking for answers more. I know from being a part of various Facebook groups and various communities, when things are very scary and people don't really know what's going on, they're looking to people for answers. And and a lot of these answers were available on video. And then something they put very interesting here, minutes of video watched by month. So as you can see, it shoots up March to May, which is when sort of the lockdowns were happening, goes down over the summer when things were eased, and then back up again when things were sort of going back into sort of lockdown again over the winter. I'm not sure sort of what the lockdown stuff was in America. It probably maybe varied state by state or county by county even, but in the UK, it kind of fits in with this narrative here of, yeah, we're all in lockdown up until May. We go out of it then, and then it sort of starts going back into lockdown again there. So that's interesting to see. That kind of mirrors that. People watched 12.2 billion minutes of video in 2020. That's 23,211 years worth of content. Basically, that's a lot of video. And I think because people are stuck in their homes and looking for answers, video is a great way to get these answers. Video interactivity and conversion. So this is about the interactive elements of the videos that they have. So they have 3 options, I seem to remember. They have call to action at the end of the videos, email collection forms and annotations. And you'll see if you go to my website, redbookproductions.co.uk/the-video-show, you'll see I have an email collection form on the page where all my videos are. And where is the best place to post these? You'll see in 2016, people were putting these at the end in the majority. And now a lot of people are putting them at the beginning. So there has been a swing. It did sort of change quite a little bit in 2019. So maybe it changes year by year and the trends change quite quickly. But the general swing of things seems to be that the call to action or the whatever the conversion thing is should be at the beginning of your video rather than at the end. Like it was 5 or so years ago. And then we can see the most popular conversion rates. Email collection seems to be the one shooting up, and yeah, call to action seems to be shrinking a little bit. So the key takeaway there was video can be used to generate and nurture leads. And I think this really speaks volumes for people like me, for people like you that are watching this, at creating videos regularly. If you're creating videos regularly, if you're creating a show, a longer form video, it's a really great way to get people to interact with what you're talking about, to understand you, to really feel like they know, like, and trust you. And I think that's really interesting as well. I just realized I forgot to record the audio on this. So this, when I upload it, this is what you'll get. And then the final thoughts they've put are video will continue to be an essential tool for business. Marketers will double down on live virtual events. This is something I think that's up for debate. I think we'll see what really happens when live events reopen. But I think they're a bit more open again in America. Things are open a little bit more than they are here. So we haven't really had any in-person events yet for the past over the last year. But I think from my opinion, I think there'll be a mixture. I did do a video on this that I'll put in the comments. But yeah, I'd like to see live virtual events continue as well, but I think in a majority it will be a mixture, but we'll see. And then the barrier for entry to video creation will continue to drop. Yeah, exactly. Like anyone can create a video, and if it's sort of a short, like explain a video explaining who you are, what you do, or just communicating with your team or communicating with your customers, it's very easy to create a video very quickly. So that's it. Take a look at the Wistia State of Video report. It's available on wistia.com/about/state-of-video. Very interesting. Yeah, I'm glad I sort of went through it there. So take a look at that. Take a look at Wistia in general. I think they're really very inspiring company, and I do use them for all of the videos I create. So when you look at my website here, when you look at the video show, all of this channel that I've got built here is just the Wistia platform. So you can take a look at the website, my website, redbookproductions.co.uk/the-video-show. So take a look at all the other video shows that you may have missed. And if you've got any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. So we do have a question. Bipin, hello. Hope you're all right. I haven't spoke to you for a little while, but hope you're okay. I struggle with content for video. So the best way I think around this is to really just write down. So as I said, at the start of the show, I was a little bit worried about what I was going to talk about today. So usually what I do is write down loads of different questions that I get asked about video, but at the moment I'm not really seeing anyone, so nobody's really asking any questions. So another great place to get answers is to look at problems you're having with your own stuff. So if you're maybe like struggling to use a bit of software, or know that people struggle to use something, look at problems you're having and then create videos around that. Good to know that you're well. So think about the problems you're having, think about questions people ask you. And then with this, like the State of Video report, think about news that's come up in your sector, and then that's a really great way to come up with video ideas. So there's no real need to sort of really push yourself and really sort of struggle with it. Just sort of keep it simple, answer questions that people have got, look at news that's come up in your sector, and then just comment on that. And I think that's a great way of creating regular video stuff. So thank you, Bipin, for the question. And I'm glad you're okay. So that's it for the video show. I will see you next time. Actually, next time I'm not live. I've got a pre-recorded video that I've been working on for the past sort of 3 weeks, which goes behind the scenes of one of the shows that I've created. So that will be uploaded to LinkedIn next week. There won't be a live video then. It will all be a pre-recorded sort of behind the scenes vlog. And then I'll be back live in 2 weeks for the regular scheduled show. So don't forget to like this page if you're on Facebook, follow me on LinkedIn, and then subscribe on YouTube. And as I said probably a billion times in this show, don't forget to go to robotproductions.co.uk/the-video-show. And Bipin, I will see you soon. And then all of you have a really good weekend. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.